Someone is deeply, irrationally, almost uncontrollably in love with you, and the strange part is, you didn't chase them, impress them, or try to win them over. You simply became yourself, and that changed everything. There's a moment in every connection that most people completely miss. It's not when you say the perfect words. It's not when you look your best. It's not even when you show them love. It's when you unknowingly touch something deeper within them. Something they didn't even realize they were searching for. And now, they can't unfeel it. They think about you in silence. They replay your conversations when they're alone. They feel drawn to you in a way that doesn't make logical sense, almost like gravity. But here's the truth no one tells you. People don't fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with the way you made them feel about themselves, without even trying. Somewhere along the way, without strategy, without manipulation, you did something rare, something most people spend their entire lives trying to figure out. And in this video, we're going to uncover exactly what that is. Because once you understand why someone becomes crazy in love with you, you'll never see connection, attraction, or human emotion the same way again. Part 1. You made them feel seen. Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone looked at you, not your face, not your words, but you? Most people go through life performing. They smile when they're breaking. They speak when they're misunderstood. They exist in rooms full of people, yet feel invisible. And then you came into their life. You didn't interrogate them. You didn't try to fix them. You didn't even realize what you were doing. You simply paid attention. You noticed the slight hesitation in their voice. You picked up on the things they didn't say. You listened, not to respond, but to understand. And in that quiet awareness, something shifted inside them. As Carl Jung once said, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. But here's the hidden truth. It becomes far less terrifying when someone else silently accepts you first. You became that mirror for them. Think about it like this. In a world addicted to noise, you became silence. In a world obsessed with appearances, you saw essence. In a world rushing past people, you paused. And because of that, they felt something they hadn't felt in a very long time. Recognition, not admiration, not attraction. Recognition. That's dangerous. Because once someone feels truly seen, they begin to associate that feeling with you. And now, your presence isn't just enjoyable. It's necessary. That's how love begins, not with fireworks, but with the quiet realization, this person understands me in a way no one else does. Part 2. You didn't chase them. You chose yourself. There's a quiet power in people who are not desperate, not cold, not distant, not unavailable, just whole on their own. And that's exactly what you were. You didn't orbit around them like everyone else does. You didn't shapeshift to fit their expectations. You didn't abandon yourself just to be chosen. Instead, you chose yourself. You had your own rhythm, your own focus, your own life that didn't revolve around their validation. And strangely, that's what pulled them closer. Because most people are used to being chased. They're used to attention that feels forced, compliments that feel rehearsed, affection that feels needy. But you were different. You showed interest, but not dependency. You gave attention, but not your identity. You cared, but you didn't cling. And in that balance, something powerful happened. As Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." You had a why beyond them, a purpose, a center, a sense of self, and that made you magnetic. Because when someone meets a person who is not trying to take from them, but simply exists fully within themselves, it creates curiosity. They start wondering, why don't they need me like others do? Why do I feel like I have to earn their attention? Why does their presence feel so grounded? And slowly, without realizing it, they begin to lean in. Not because you pulled them, but because you didn't. This is the paradox of attraction most people never understand. The more you chase, the more you lose value. The more you embody yourself, the more you become valuable. You didn't play games. You didn't try to impress. You simply lived authentically. And that authenticity, it's rare. So rare that when someone encounters it, they don't just like it. They become drawn to it, almost helplessly. Part 3. You gave them emotional safety. There's something most people will never admit out loud. They are not afraid of love. They are afraid of being hurt again. So they build walls. They become careful with their words, guarded with their emotions, distant, even when they crave closeness. And then they met you. But here's what's fascinating. You didn't try to break their walls. You didn't force vulnerability. You didn't rush intimacy. You didn't demand access to parts of them they weren't ready to reveal. You simply created space. A space where they could speak without being judged, feel without being dismissed, exist without being pressured to be perfect. And slowly, something inside them softened. As Lao Tzu once said, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. But there's a hidden layer to that truth. Feeling safe with someone gives you permission to finally be real. You became that permission. Think about how rare that is today. In a world where people screenshot conversations, where vulnerability is often used as leverage, where honesty feels like a risk. You became a safe place, not because you promised it, but because you embodied it. You didn't weaponize their insecurities. You didn't play emotional games. You didn't make them feel like they had to perform to keep your attention. And in that calm, non-threatening presence, they started opening up. At first, just a little, then more. Then parts of themselves they had buried for years. And here's where it becomes powerful. They didn't just open up to you. They started healing around you. And now, their mind makes a connection it cannot ignore. When I'm with this person, I feel safe. I feel safe. And once someone associates you with emotional safety, they don't just like you, they attach to you because safety in a chaotic world feels like love. Part 4. You didn't try to be loved. You simply were. Here's the truth that most people spend their entire lives running from. They don't believe they are enough, so they perform. They try to be more attractive, more interesting, more impressive, more acceptable. They carefully construct versions of themselves, hoping that someone, anyone, will finally say, "You are enough." But you didn't do that. Somewhere along your journey, maybe through pain, maybe through growth, maybe through silent realizations, you stopped trying to earn love, and you simply existed as you are, unfiltered, imperfect, real. And that is where everything changed. Because when someone encounters a person who is not hiding, not pretending, not seeking approval, it creates a quiet shock within them. As Albert Camus once said, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer." You found that summer within yourself, and now your presence feels different. You laugh without calculation. You speak without overthinking. You exist without constantly questioning your worth. And that authenticity, it gives other people permission to drop their masks too. But here's where it becomes deeper. They don't just admire your authenticity, they feel drawn to it in a way they can't explain, because you represent something they secretly crave. Freedom. Freedom from pretending. Freedom from anxiety. Freedom from the exhausting need to be liked. You became a glimpse of what life feels like when you stop performing and start living. And now, they're not just attracted to you. They're inspired by you. They don't just want your attention, they want your presence, your energy, your way of being. And that's why their feelings feel so intense, almost overwhelming. Because what they're experiencing isn't just attraction, it's recognition. Recognition of something real in a world full of illusions. So now you understand, they didn't fall in love with you because you tried harder. They fell in love with you because you stopped trying altogether. You saw them when the world overlooked them. You chose yourself when others chased validation. You gave them safety in a world that taught them to guard their hearts. And most importantly, you became real in a world full of masks. And that combination, it's rare, so rare, that when someone experiences it, they don't just appreciate it. They become crazy in love with it. But here's something you need to ask yourself now. Are you going to stay this person? Or will you go back to shrinking, performing, and forgetting who you truly are? Because the truth is, the same thing that made them fall in love with you is the same thing that will keep your life aligned, powerful, and deeply meaningful. So don't lose it. Because in a world where everyone is trying to be loved, the real power lies in simply being someone worth loving without trying at all.